back on this
All
joint.
right, this is
Let me
Rico
turn up and do it
from
for
Sons of Funk. Um, and we the guys that bring the love music to you. We're about to bring love back to the world. And we finna get funky with them too. We got some heaters, man, for sure, for sure. And you know, we're
you.
from Richmond, California. But we all live basically in the South now. And my son is the lead singer now, RJ. So he'll be yeah, y'all be seeing a lot of him real soon. If you haven't already seen him, you know.
That's what it do. Shout out
Indeed.
our today. That's the yeah, definitely. So I mean, where did the name Sons of Funk where did that come from? Sons of Funk.
All right, and, it came from our one of the original members who was sad to say was murdered,
Mm.
Ricky J. We was like going to be Sons of Soul. He was like, nah, hell no, we Sons of Funk. I mean, because the Bay Area, we known for funk music. You know what I mean? We had Larry Graham there. We had I mean Sheila E. there. We had some very prominent people in the music industry that came right from the Bay. You know, In Vogue,
Mm.
Tupac. Uh,
Real.
you know what I'm saying? And I know all of them. We all know each other well, you know.
That's real. That's definitely real. So I mean, when did you
Mhm.
start getting into singing?
Um, I was um I was 8 years old, man, and I was singing around the house, and my dad heard me and he was like, "Hey man, because my dad played, instruments and everything." He said, "You sound like Michael Jackson." And I was like,
Mm.
"For real, Pop?" He was like, "Yeah, man, so let's put a group together." I was like, "All right, cool, let's do that." So we put a group together, and it was on ever since, you know.
That's
Yeah,
real. That's definitely real.
indeed.
So who inspired you in your music career then? Who really inspired you to, wanting to start taking singing serious?
Um, it was really my dad, Paul Crowder, but like outside of that, it definitely had to be Michael Jackson, Prince. But I also was influenced a lot by the Tony. We all, real close. The Wayne Wiggins taught me a lot. And then I had another partner named Miko Weaver who played with Prince, and he taught me
Mm.
a lot. And all these people went on to be like great stars. Raphael Sadiq, we were very close. You know, we talk often, and you know what I'm saying. We traded, craft with each other, and we, iron sharpened iron, and that's how it went down. You know.
That's definitely real. That's definitely
Yeah.
real. So I mean, who created? I know. Let me ask you this: where did the concept of pushing inside of you come from?
Okay. All right. Watch this, man. I was broken than glass on the concrete, right? And
Hmm.
I was in my room, man, and I was living in Fairfield in Laurel Ranch. And I asked God, I said, God, I know this might sound strange, man. I said, but please give me a song that millions of people will remember for the rest of their life. I just grabbed my guitar, and immediately the song just started to come out, just immediately. You know what I mean? Sure feels that good to me when I'm pushing. And my nephew was in the other room. He was like, "Unc, who the hell is that?" I was like, "That's something I'm writing." He was like, "Oh, we got to record that." So back in the day, we had the little recorder. I put it on. I called my cousin Dez, and he was like, "Man, get over here right now. We gotta record that." That's a smash. And that's how it
Mm.
went up. I mean that song took us from being obscure to being super successful.
That's real. That's
Indeed.
definitely real right there. So with that being said, what's some of the things, in your career, for the younger generation that's coming up, the R&B singers and things of that nature, what's some things you can, get them on the wisdom side to watch out for, or some things, that's they're gonna have contact with in their career? that you can probably help them jump over that hurdle.
Indeed. The best thing I could say is listen to the old music, like the '90s music, um, and listen to the hooks. We have very memorable hooks. We had hooks that touched your heart. You know, it made you remind you of being someplace. But bring your new cadence with your verses and have those prominent hooks for your chorus. You know, and I promise you, you won't lose. We've been winning with that strategy over and over. And we
That's
have some
real.
really great music. So I want y'all to go check out Heat 3000 by Sons of Funk, and I'm telling you, you won't be, hey, you won't be let down.
That's
It's
real.
banging.
That's
Yes,
right.
indeed.
Everybody check that out. What's the difference between the Sons of Funk in 2022 and the Sons of Funk from the early the late '90s and the early 2000s?
The difference is, my son is singing lead now, so he got that young cadence. He got that Chris Brown, you know what I mean, August Alsina, that type of flavor on the verses, and then I come in with the music, and then and the hooks. With that, man, we've been, you know what I'm saying, it's a no brainer. We've been killing them.
That's real.
Indeed.
That's definitely
Yeah.
real. So I mean, how you being from California and No Limit being a Southern rap label, how did that ever happen? I mean, you from California, No Limit and from Louisiana. Now I know Master P been in California. In fact,
Yeah.
Richmond. I think like grew up out
Yeah.
there or something like that. But if you can, just elaborate a little bit on how that came about.
Man, like you said, I am from California, and I was raised in Richmond, California. And it was is a very prominent barbershop called Mark's Barbershop, and on Cutting, and my homeboy Alamo used to cut hair there, right? And so I walk in, and it was this picture of these dudes, these tall dudes with golds in their mouth. I was like, who the hell is these basketball players with all this gold in their mouth? He was like, nah, they don't play basketball, they rap. That's Master P from the Calio projects in New Orleans. No sooner than 5 minutes later, the man walks in, but he walks in with CMurder. He walks in with Big Ed. He walks in with Servo, Moby Dick. Everybody just walked. You know, Pete always traveled in with an entourage. You feel me? And and P is a comedian. A lot of people don't know. You always see him kind of serious all the time, but P is actually really hilarious, man. So he was joking all the cats that was cutting hair. So he sat by me. He said, "Hey man, don't you sing?" I was like, "Yeah, man." He said, "I saw you the other day at in Sacramento at the Black Family Day, and y'all had the girls going this, bro." He said, "If ever you make it, will you help me? And if ever I'll make it, I'll help you." Flock, bro, I'll tell you, I was broken in glass on the concrete. I had nothing to lose. I said, "Yeah, man, shit. Yeah, let's do that, you know." So I would see him all the time. I had an apartment, and P lived right across from me. Then he had a kind of a duck off by my partner's sister house, and then Sonia C lived right across the hall from my best friend's girlfriend. And so I would see him all the time. As soon as I get off work, I would see P. You feel me? So so then P just he started the record company, and which was he was just selling records. But P had a trick for everybody. What he would do was he would take, say for instance, NWA came out, right? He would take the record and go to K. Lou studio. That's another prominent fixture in the No Limit scheme of things. So what he did was he would take the CD and add extra bass, and everybody would be like, "Yo, why my shit ain't knocking like that?" He was like, "You got to come see me. Come to the No Limit record store." So P started rapping, right? And so he just remembered, I gotta have bass. I gotta rattle the hell out they trunks. And man, next thing you know, E40's uncle, St. Charles, told Pete, "Hey man, you're gonna be a super success. but you got to start it in the Midwest and the South. What he tell
Mm.
Pete? He gave Pete a little advice. Pete took it and put it on steroids, and it was over with. It was over with.
That's
And
real.
then No Limit was born, man, and shit, that we're doing a thing, indeed.
Yeah, that's real. So Master P started No Limit Records in California.
In California,
That's
right there in
crazy.
California, man. Right in, he had a old kind of like little storefront, and this old white guy was just like, "Yo, man, you could just take over the whole thing." Pete gave him a few bucks a month, and then after that, man, No Limit, the record company started, and shit, it was on and popping.
That's
You know.
real. No, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, so you seeing all that transition, how do you get into position where you singing and you a well known, celebrity now? How does that come about?
How do I feel about it?
No, how did it come about? Like, okay,
Oh,
Master P,
okay.
yeah,
So here we go.
did his thing, yeah.
So
How it come
so
about with you?
so here it goes. So long story short, we go. We had an old raggedy red truck, looked like Fred Sanford truck. I promise y'all, and we had to hold it in gear, right? Because if we hit a bump, it would have threw in park and we went through the window. So we had to drive 500 miles holding his gear shift. So God told me to go to Priority Records, and then that's going to be the start of your career. So
Mm.
we went to Priority, and I don't know if y'all ever seen somebody with a halo just go. And Pete walked in, I was like, "What's up, bruh?" But then watch this. At that time, I didn't know Pete was super successful. I didn't know he was a multi-millionaire. He was still just the homeboy. You feel me? Then
Mm-hmm.
so I said, man, what's happening? He's like, "You still singing?" I was like, "Shit, you still rapping?" He's like, "Yeah." So
Uh-huh.
he said, well, "Come on, man, come on upstairs, and let me hear what you got." So when we get on the elevator, he said, "You know what, Rick? I'm gonna tell you what's real. If I know what you got is smash and hit, I'm gonna give each one of y'all $100,000 a piece." I was
Mm.
like, "Wait, bruh, what?" So we get
100.
sit into his office. We put pushing inside you on no later than like 2 seconds. We were signing the contract. And we never
Crazy.
looked back, man. And P said, "Look, I'm gonna make y'all one of the biggest R&B groups out." Like I was like, "Shit, we gonna be like Jodeci?" He said, "Yeah, we got a few dollars to make y'all pretty big like Jodeci. Promise you." And it was on ever since, man. Like I couldn't believe it. It was so surreal.
That's
Mm,
awesome. That's awesome. You know
indeed.
what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, No Limit is known for, No Limit soldiers, the tank, the army,
Yeah.
the tough image and everything like that. How did, Sons of Funk mix with all the toughness? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did y'all deal with that? You know what I'm saying? Because like backstage, you got brothers with soldier fatigues on and camouflage, and then you got Sons of Funk on some player cool, calm, and collective stuff. How did that work?
Well, you got to remember, if you really listen, we wasn't like Boys to Men, and we wasn't like Jodeci. Them dudes, they was singing about love. We was singing about some gangster shit. Make love
Mm,
to a thug. You feel me? Pushing inside you. We was talking what the street wanted to hear. Like, we tried that little, soft stuff, but hey, well, the honeys wasn't hearing it, dog. They wanted to hear pushing inside you. They wanted, hey, what you finna do when you come through? You feel me?
that's right.
Show
That's
me
right.
what you working with. And
That's
that's what
real.
happened. And we
That's
fit right in. I mean, immediately when we got to Baton Rouge, um, we produced Time Will Tell.
mm,
I did Fiend, Josh and Lorenzo, we did Fiend's, what's his first single? I forget the name. Somebody, I know one of y'all know it. Um, I forget the name of it. Anyway, his
right. The
first
first
single.
thing, right? Man, what? The first thing single. Hey,
It was
shout out Fiend, Mr. Womp Womp. Shout out Fiend.
yeah.
You already know, yeah.
You know, and how that happened was I was listening to his album and I was like, you know, Finn, your album is dope, bro, but you don't have a radio hit. So within 2 minutes, I came with the song. Um, and it, you know, you get old, you forget the name of it. But if y'all go back and you'll see us in his video, uh, with Finn doing, you know, that was his song that took him over the top.
Mm, that's
Yes, indeed.
real. So who?
Yeah,
So yeah, Sons of Funk who sing and No Limit. Then you had Moby Dick who.
yeah.
So were y'all the only ones who really sung in No Limit? Who else sung in No Limit?
Then they had Portia, and I think they had they had Peaches. Peaches sang, and Mercedes. You
Mercedes.
know,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, can't forget about Mercedes. Yeah,
Nah,
definitely.
I know you can't forget. And we all like brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? When we see each other, it's like a family reunion. You know, and
What
it's
did,
really
what did,
cool.
well, let me ask you this. What did any, like all the people you just named singing, did y'all ever collaborate where everybody just, making
Yeah,
songs
man.
all
See,
together?
this is what P was such a genius, man. He would let everybody would come into the studio when it's their time for their album, right? And
Hmm.
you know, he was like, "What y'all got? What y'all got for the?" You know, everybody pitched in for everybody's album. We really had a system down. It was mind blowing how this dude really how he attacked the music industry. So we would get together. Say, for instance, if your album was about to come out, we would all get together and make
Hmm.
sure you had at least 3 to 4 smash hit records on there. You feel me? And we would all get together and everybody produced on everybody's album who's about to come out. And you know, and P made what he did was too, man. He made you feel like No Limit was yours just as well. You feel me?
That's
And
right.
um and so that was a great thing how he did, man. And the dude is just it was just phenomenal. His and when his marketing, oh man, and I learned so much from his marketing. I use it to this day. You know,
Mm, that's real. That's definitely
indeed.
real. That's,
Yes,
hey,
indeed.
that's real. I mean, so from all the experiences that you didn't have, what's some of the, major key experiences you didn't experience with No Limit? That you can't forget. Like what changed your life? Them experiences you can't forget.
Man. Okay, so uh what changed my life, man, was when we finished our album, right? We called up to P. He was at Priority. He said he sent the limo to come get us, right? And the limo took us to Priority Records, and we popped in the CD for P. He was like, "Oh shit, y'all done did it." He said, "But this is what I need because y'all boy got murdered. Y'all got to move because Richmond ain't gonna understand y'all. It's gonna be too far a difference, right?" So immediately we bought homes in Sherman Oaks.
Mm,
And then he said, "What kind of cars y'all want?" I said, "Shit, we want some Benzes." You feel me?
that's right.
And he said, "All right, let's go down to Beverly Hills and get y'all, full brand new spanking." I mean, my Benz literally was coming off the truck. You remember them little bubble things?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Bruh. Let me tell you what's real. P spent about $1.8 million on us within 15 minutes.
Mm,
We all got brand new housing now, and all cars. And keep in mind, we wasn't like Dearhrow or none of them. All that shit was in our name.
that's
You
right.
know, P was like, "You your own man. That's your house. I don't live there. That's your shit. Pay your taxes. You're gonna be all right."
That's real. I mean, do you still
Indeed.
have them houses to this day?
Man, let me tell you what I did, bro. So the housing market bubbled, right? I
Hmm.
had got the place for like 270,000. When I cashed out, it was 800 and some thousand. You hear me?
Mm,
I built this mansion that I live in now. I bought a gang of other property. Um, And then I got into stocks. My younger brother got me into stocks. Uh, um, and I've been bubbling ever since, man.
That's
So
real.
thank God, God first, and then Master P. You feel me? Because he really, really, really changed our trajectory in our lives. You feel me? He really did.
Mhm. That's real. So I didn't heard before, from different artists, who been with No Limit, saying Master P is a shrewd businessman. He a little grimy and shifty in the business side. You never experienced that, have
I never ever. He always because you got to remember too. We met kind of on a friendship type thing, and we kept this bond between us. Like if he make it, whatever, I'll make it. Whatever, I'll help him.
you?
Man, you know what, man? P. Everybody you saw on that tank, right? That had an album come out. Trust me, they had a brand new house, they had a brand new car, and they had no less than $200,000 or $300,000 in their bank account. Now, what you do with that afterwards, that's on you. You know what I'm
That's
saying? But
real.
I had financial IQ. I knew exactly what to do. And my mom was a shrewd businesswoman. She dealt in real estate, so she was like, "Oh, this is what we finna do. You'll never, you're gonna be straight."
That's real. That's
Indeed.
real. Let me ask you this question. Like, when did your family, speaking of your mom, like, when did your mom, or maybe I should ask this, did your family support you in your singing career?
Yes, I mean, my family completely put their arms around me when I was doing the music thing. I had a very strong base to come back to. So if I fail, I can come back and regroup, get my mind right, and go back out there and bang at it again. And my family was just like, "Yo, that's your destiny. You will make." Actually, I was going to school to be a doctor, man. Honestly,
Mm,
but but shit, that music was in me so much, man. I was like, I'm not gonna waste that kind of money. I'm finna just make this happen. And thank God, P took his acronym and blew it up. You feel me? And we got on board with him. And
that's
luckily,
real.
we had some hits. You feel me?
Definitely had some hits. Definitely had some hits.
Indeed.
I mean, how did you balance your family life, and your love life and relationships, and like you say, you got a son. How did you balance all of this and being a celebrity? You on tour, you